The spaceship Horizon stood ready on the launch pad, a gleaming testament to human ingenuity and ambition. The mission to establish a colony on the distant exoplanet Elysium had captured the world's imagination, promising a new chapter in humanity's story. Dr. Emily Hayes, the mission's lead psychologist, took a deep breath as she looked out over the bustling launch site. This mission was not just a scientific endeavor. It was a journey into the unknown depths of the human psyche. "Captain Drake, are we ready for launch?" Emily asked, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. Captain Isaac Drake, a seasoned astronaut with a calm demeanor, nodded. "All systems are go, Dr. Hayes. The crew is ready." The Horizon's crew consisted of a diverse group of experts, each chosen for their skills and resilience. Dr. Raj Patel, a brilliant astrophysicist with a quick wit, Lieutenant Sarah Thompson, a former military pilot with nerves of steel, and Dr. Elena Garcia, a botanist with a deep passion for life sciences. Each member had their own reasons for joining the mission, their own hopes and fears. As the countdown began, Emily's mind raced with thoughts of what lay ahead. The journey to Elysium would take months, with the crew confined to the ship's cramped quarters. The psychological strain of such a journey was a primary concern, and Emily's role was to monitor and support the crew's mental health. -10. 9, 8, the countdown echoed through the control room, building in intensity. Emily glanced at Raj, who gave her a reassuring smile. "We'll make it, Emily. Just think of the discoveries waiting for us." -3. 2, 1. Ignition. The roar of the engines filled the air as the Horizon lifted off, ascending toward the stars. The crew was pushed back into their seats by the force of the acceleration, their eyes fixed on the view of Earth receding below. As the ship reached orbit, a sense of weightlessness took over. Emily floated in her seat, her heart pounding with a mix of excitement and anxiety. This was the beginning of an incredible journey, one that would test their limits in every way imaginable. "Welcome to space, everyone," Captain Drake's voice crackled over the intercom. "Let's make history." The crew settled into their routines, performing checks on the ship systems and conducting initial experiments. The first few days were filled with a sense of wonder and camaraderie, but Emily knew that the true challenges lay ahead. Isolation, confinement, and the psychological toll of deep space travel were all waiting to test them. One evening, as the crew gathered for dinner, Emily decided to break the ice. "How's everyone holding up?" she asked, looking around at her crewmates. Raj chuckled. "Well, I miss gravity, but other than that, I'm good." Sarah nodded in agreement. "It's strange, but I think we're adapting well." "The view helps," Elena, who had been quietly observing, spoke up. "I'm just excited to see what Elysium holds. It's a chance to start anew, to build something amazing." Emily smiled, feeling a sense of unity among the crew. "Let's make a pact," she said. "No matter what challenges we face, we'll support each other and work together. We're in this for the long haul." The crew agreed, raising their glasses in a toast. "To the Horizon," Captain Drake said, his voice filled with determination. "And to the future." As the days turned into weeks, the initial excitement began to wane, replaced by the monotony of routine. The psychological strain of isolation and confinement started to surface, manifesting in subtle ways. Emily noticed signs of anxiety and stress among the crew, and she knew it was time to address these issues head-on. She called a meeting in the common area, a small space designed for relaxation and social interaction. "I've noticed that we're all feeling the effects of isolation and confinement," she began, her voice gentle but firm. "It's important that we talk about it and find ways to cope." Raj sighed. "It's just, there's no escape. We're stuck in this metal box for months." Sarah nodded. "I knew it would be hard, but the reality is different from the training." Elena added, "I miss the feeling of the earth under my feet, the smell of fresh air." Emily listened, her heart aching for her crewmates. "It's okay to feel this way. We're all in this together, and we need to support each other. Let's create a routine that includes time for relaxation and connection." We can use the common area for activities, games, and just talking. The crew agreed, and over the next few days, they began to implement these changes. They played games, watched movies, and shared stories about their lives on Earth. The sense of camaraderie grew stronger, and the psychological strain began to ease. One night, as Emily floated in her quarters, she reflected on their journey. They had come so far, and there was still a long way to go. The challenges were immense, but so too was their determination. Together, we can face anything, she whispered to herself, feeling a renewed sense of hope. The initial excitement of the journey had faded, giving way to the harsh realities of deep space travel. As the horizon drifted further from Earth, the psychological strain of isolation and confinement began to take its toll on the crew. Dr. Emily Hayes observed these changes with growing concern. The days blurred into one another, the monotony of routine setting in. Without the natural rhythms of day and night, time seemed to stretch endlessly. The crew's interactions, once filled with laughter and camaraderie, grew strained and distant. One morning, Emily found Raj in the common area, staring out the small window at the endless expanse of space. "Couldn't sleep?" she asked gently. Raj sighed, his shoulders slumping. "I can't shake this feeling of being trapped." "It's like there's no end in sight," Emily nodded, understanding his frustration. "It's normal to feel this way. We need to find ways to break the monotony and stay connected." She gathered the crew for a meeting, hoping to address the growing sense of isolation. "We're all feeling the effects of confinement," she began. "Let's talk about how we can support each other and keep our spirits up." Sarah, usually stoic and composed, spoke first. "I miss the open sky, the feel of the wind. It's hard to stay motivated." Elena nodded in agreement. "I find myself longing for the simplest things from Earth." "It's harder than I expected." Captain Drake listened intently, his expression thoughtful. "We need to stay focused on our mission, but we also need to take care of ourselves. Let's make time for activities that bring us joy and connection." The crew agreed to create a schedule that included daily exercise, group activities, and regular check-ins. They started playing card games, sharing stories, and even organizing movie nights. These small gestures helped to alleviate the sense of isolation and foster a sense of community. Emily also introduced mindfulness exercises and meditation sessions, encouraging the crew to focus on their mental well-being. "Taking care of our minds is just as important as taking care of our bodies," she reminded them. Despite their efforts, there were moments when the isolation felt overwhelming. One night, Emily found Sarah in the observation deck, tears streaming down her face. "Sarah, what's wrong?" Emily asked, her heart aching for her friend. Sarah wiped her eyes, her voice trembling. "I feel so far from everything I know. It's like I'm losing touch with who I am." Emily put a comforting hand on Sarah's shoulder. "You're not alone. We're all in this together. It's okay to feel this way, and it's okay to lean on each other." The crew's resilience was tested further when a solar flare disrupted their communications with Earth. The sudden silence was deafening, amplifying their sense of isolation. "We're cut off," Captain Drake announced grimly. "We need to stay calm and focus on our tasks. We'll get through this." The days without communication were some of the hardest they had faced. The crew struggled with feelings of abandonment and uncertainty, their morale sinking lower with each passing hour. Emily worked tirelessly to keep spirits up, organizing group activities and providing emotional support. She knew that maintaining their mental health was crucial to their survival. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the communications were restored. The crew's relief was palpable, their spirits lifting as they reconnected with their support team on Earth. "We did it," Raj said, a smile breaking through his weariness. "We made it through." Emily felt a surge of pride in her crewmates. They had faced the darkness of isolation and emerged stronger. But she knew that more challenges lay ahead, and they needed to remain vigilant. As the horizon continued its journey towards Elysium, the crew clung to the hope of a new beginning. They had each other, and they had their mission. Together, they would face the unknown and build a future among the stars. The routine of space travel provided a semblance of normalcy for the crew of the Horizon. But the fragile equilibrium was shattered one day by an unexpected crisis. The ship's life support system, which regulated oxygen and temperature, began to malfunction. Alarms blared throughout the ship, jolting the crew from their tasks. Captain Drake's voice echoed over the intercom. "All hands, report to the control room immediately." Panic gripped Emily as she raced through the corridors, her mind racing with worst-case scenarios. The control room was a hive of activity, with crew members frantically trying to diagnose the problem. "Raj, what's going on?" Emily asked, her voice strained with urgency. Raj's face was tense as he studied the readouts. "The life support system is failing. We're losing oxygen and the temperature is rising." Captain Drake took charge, his voice calm but authoritative. "Elena, get to the life support bay and see if you can identify the issue. Raj, work on stabilizing the system from here. Everyone else, prepare for emergency protocols." Elena nodded, her face set with determination. "On it, Captain." As the crew sprang into action, Emily's mind raced. The psychological strain of a life-threatening crisis was immense, and she knew that maintaining composure was crucial. She moved through the ship, checking on her crewmates and offering words of reassurance. "We're trained for this. We can handle it. Stay focused." In the life support bay, Elena worked feverishly to identify the problem. Sweat poured down her face as she examined the complex machinery, her hands moving with practiced precision. "I found the issue." Elena's voice crackled over the intercom. "A coolant leak is causing the system to overheat. I'm sealing the leak now." Back in the control room, Raj monitored the readouts, his fingers flying over the controls. "Temperature is stabilizing, but oxygen levels are still dropping. We need to divert power to the auxiliary systems." Emily could see the strain on Raj's face, the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. "You can do this, Raj. We're counting on you." Raj nodded, his focus unwavering. Diverting power now. The minutes stretched into hours as the crew worked tirelessly to stabilize the life support system. The tension was palpable, every second feeling like an eternity. Emily monitored the crew's mental state, providing support where needed. Finally, Elena's voice came over the intercom. "Leak is sealed. Coolant levels are back to normal." Raj let out a sigh of relief. "Oxygen levels are rising. We're stabilizing." Captain Drake's voice was calm as he addressed the crew. "Good work, everyone. Let's take a moment to catch our breath and then debrief." The crew gathered in the common area, their faces etched with exhaustion and relief. Emily could see the toll the crisis had taken on them, but also their resilience. "We did it," Sarah said, her voice filled with pride. "We worked together and we made it through." Emily smiled, feeling a surge of pride in her crewmates. "This was a tough test, but we proved that we can handle anything. Let's use this experience to strengthen our bonds and prepare for whatever comes next." The crew nodded in agreement, their spirits lifted by the successful resolution of the crisis. They had faced a life-threatening challenge and emerged stronger, their sense of camaraderie deepened. As the Horizon continued its journey towards Elysium, Emily knew that more challenges lay ahead. But she also knew that they had the strength and resilience to face them, together. In the wake of the life support crisis, the Horizon's crew settled back into their routines. The immediate danger had passed, but the psychological strain of their journey remained. Dr. Emily Hayes knew that it was essential for the crew to reflect on their experiences and address their inner struggles. One evening, Emily called a meeting in the common area, hoping to create a space for open dialogue. "We've been through a lot together," she began, her voice gentle. "It's important that we take time to reflect on our experiences and share our thoughts and feelings." The crew gathered, their expressions a mix of curiosity and apprehension. Emily could see the weight of their journey in their eyes, the unspoken fears and hopes that they carried. "Captain Drake, would you like to start?" Emily asked, turning to their leader. Captain Drake nodded, his face thoughtful. "This mission is the culmination of my life's work. But there are moments when I wonder if we're truly prepared for what lies ahead. The responsibility is immense, and it can be overwhelming." Emily nodded, understanding his burden. "It's natural to feel that way. We're all carrying a lot of weight on our shoulders. Let's support each other through it." Raj spoke next, his voice reflective. "I joined this mission because I wanted to make a difference, to push the boundaries of our knowledge. But being so far from Earth, from everything familiar, it's harder than I imagined. The isolation can be suffocating." Elena added, "I miss the simple joys of life on Earth. The smell of fresh air, the sound of birds. It's strange how much you can miss something you took for granted." Sarah, usually quiet and composed, finally spoke up. "I joined this mission to escape my past, to find a new purpose. But being out here, I've realized that you can't run away from yourself. The quiet of space forces you to confront your own thoughts." Emily listened, her heart aching for her crewmates. "We're all here for different reasons, but we're in this together. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, to miss home. Let's lean on each other and find strength in our shared journey." The crew nodded, their expressions softening as they shared their reflections. The act of speaking their thoughts aloud seemed to lighten their burdens, creating a sense of solidarity. As the days passed, Emily encouraged the crew to continue their personal reflections, both individually and as a group. They kept journals, shared stories, and supported each other through the emotional highs and lows of their journey. One night, Emily found herself alone on the observation deck, gazing out at the stars. The vastness of space was both awe-inspiring and humbling, a reminder of the enormity of their mission. She was joined by Captain Drake, who stood silently beside her for a moment before speaking. "Do you ever wonder if we're making the right choice? Leaving everything behind to start anew on Elysium?" Emily nodded, her eyes fixed on the distant stars. "Ido. But I also believe that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. We're explorers, pioneers. And sometimes, that means stepping into the unknown and facing our fears." Captain Drake smiled, his expression thoughtful. "You're right. This journey is about more than just finding a new home. It's about pushing the boundaries of what we know and discovering what we're capable of." As they stood together, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. The challenges they faced were immense, but so too was their determination. They were more than just a crew, they were a family, united by their shared mission and their hope for the future. "Together, we can face anything," Emily said softly, her voice filled with conviction. Captain Drake nodded, his gaze steady. To Elysium, and beyond. The horizon continued its journey through the vastness of space, the days blending into weeks as they drew closer to their destination. But the crew was about to face one of their most daunting challenges yet, the long dark. As they approached a massive nebula, the ship was enveloped in a thick cloud of cosmic dust, blocking out the light from distant stars. The crew was plunged into darkness, the only illumination coming from the ship's artificial lights. The lack of natural light had an immediate psychological impact. The crew's moods grew somber, their conversations hushed. The darkness seemed to press in on them, amplifying feelings of isolation and confinement. Dr. Emily Hayes knew that the long dark would test their mental resilience in ways they hadn't yet experienced. She called a meeting to address the situation. "We've entered the long dark," Emily began, her voice steady. "This period of darkness will last for several weeks. It's important that we acknowledge the psychological impact it can have and find ways to cope." Raj, always quick with a joke, tried to lighten the mood. "Well, at least we won't have to worry about sunburns." The crew chuckled, but the underlying tension remained. Captain Drake spoke next, his tone serious. "We need to stick to our routines and support each other. This will be a challenging time, but we can get through it together." Elena suggested using the common area for more frequent group activities. Let's have movie nights, game nights, anything to keep our spirits up. The crew agreed, and over the next few days, they implemented these changes. They played board games, watched old movies, and shared stories from their lives on Earth. These activities provided a brief respite from the oppressive darkness, but the psychological strain continued to build. One evening, Emily found Sarah sitting alone in the observation deck, staring out at the impenetrable blackness. "Sarah, how are you holding up?" Emily asked gently. Sarah sighed, her shoulders slumping. "It's harder than I thought it would be. The darkness, it's suffocating. I feel like I'm losing myself." Emily sat beside her, offering a comforting presence. "You're not alone, Sarah. We're all feeling it. Let's talk about it, share our thoughts. Sometimes, just talking can make a big difference." Sarah nodded, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I guess I just didn't expect it to be this hard. I thought I was prepared. None of us could have fully prepared for this," Emily said softly. "But we're here for each other. We can find strength in that." As the days passed, the crew struggled to maintain their morale. The lack of natural light disrupted their sleep patterns, leading to irritability and fatigue. Emily introduced mindfulness exercises and guided meditations to help the crew manage their stress and anxiety. "Let's take a few minutes each day to center ourselves," she suggested during one of their group sessions. "Close your eyes, focus on your breathing, and let go of any tension." The crew participated willingly, finding some relief in the simple practice. It was a small but meaningful way to cope with the oppressive darkness. One night, during a rare moment of solitude, Emily found herself gazing out at the black void. She felt a deep sense of connection to her crewmates, each of them grappling with their own fears and uncertainties. They were all searching for light in the darkness, both literally and metaphorically. Captain Drake joined her, his expression reflective. "We've been through a lot, Emily. But we're still here, still moving forward." Emily nodded, feeling a surge of determination. "And we'll keep moving forward, no matter what. Together, we can face anything." As the long dark continued, the crew's resilience was tested daily. But through their shared struggles, they found new depths of strength and solidarity. They were more than just a crew, they were a family, bound by their mission and their determination to reach Elysium. The days in the long dark dragged on, each moment weighed down by the oppressive blackness. The crew of the Horizon had settled into a fragile routine, their activities focused on maintaining both the ship and their own mental health. It was during one of these routine checks that Dr. Raj Patel made a startling discovery. "Emily, you need to see this," Raj called out, his voice tinged with excitement. Emily hurried to the control room, her heart pounding. "What is it, Raj?" Raj pointed to the main screen, where a series of unfamiliar signals were displayed. "We're picking up a transmission. It's not from Earth." The room fell silent as the crew gathered around the screen, their eyes wide with curiosity and apprehension. Captain Drake stepped forward, his expression serious. "Can we decipher it?" Raj nodded, his fingers flying over the controls. "I'm running it through the decryption software now. It's going to take some time." As the minutes ticked by, the tension in the room grew. The possibility of contact with an alien civilization was both thrilling and terrifying. Finally, the decryption software completed its task, and a series of symbols and patterns appeared on the screen. This is incredible," Raj whispered. "It's a message. An invitation." Emily's mind raced. "An invitation to what?" Raj shrugged, his eyes still fixed on the screen. "It's not entirely clear, but it looks like they're inviting us to meet them." The crew exchanged glances, a mixture of excitement and fear reflected in their eyes. The idea of encountering an alien species was the stuff of dreams and nightmares. Captain Drake took a deep breath. "We need to proceed with caution. Let's gather all the data we can and prepare for a potential meeting. This could be the most important moment of our mission." The crew sprang into action, each member preparing for the unknown encounter. Emily focused on the psychological implications, knowing that the stress of meeting an alien species could push the crew to their limits. As they approached the coordinates provided in the transmission, the tension on the ship was palpable. The darkness of the nebula seemed to press in on them, adding to the sense of impending revelation. Approaching the coordinates, Sarah reported from her station. "I'm picking up a structure. It's massive." The image on the screen showed a colossal, intricately designed structure floating in the nebula. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, a testament to the advanced technology of the alien species. "Opening a channel," Raj said, his voice steady despite the excitement. A moment later, the screen flickered to life, revealing a figure. The alien was humanoid in shape, but with distinct differences: luminescent skin, elongated limbs, and eyes that seemed to glow with an inner light. "Welcome, travelers," the alien said, its voice resonant and calming. "We have been expecting you." Captain Drake stepped forward, his expression composed. "Thank you. We are honored to meet you. My name is Captain Isaac Drake, and this is my crew." The alien nodded, its gaze shifting to each member of the crew. "I am Lyra, a representative of the Vorten. We have been monitoring your journey and wish to share knowledge and assistance." Emily felt a surge of relief and curiosity. "Why have you chosen to contact us now?" Lyra's expression softened. "We understand the challenges of your journey. The long dark is a test of resilience and spirit. We wish to offer our aid and share our experiences." As the conversation continued, the crew learned that the Vorten had faced their own trials and had developed advanced technologies to navigate the challenges of space travel. Lyra extended an invitation for the crew to visit their structure and learn from the Vorten's knowledge. "We must proceed with caution," Captain Drake said to the crew. "This is an incredible opportunity, but we need to ensure the safety of our ship and ourselves." The crew agreed, and preparations were made for a small team to visit the Vorten structure. Emily, Captain Drake, and Raj volunteered, their curiosity and sense of duty driving them forward. As they boarded the shuttle and approached the alien structure, Emily's mind buzzed with possibilities. This encounter could provide the knowledge they needed to overcome the long dark and reach Elysium. The shuttle docked smoothly, and the team stepped out into the alien environment. The interior of the structure was bathed in a soft, luminescent glow, and Lyra awaited them with a welcoming smile. "Welcome, friends," Lyra said, extending a hand. "Let us share our knowledge and learn from each other." As the team began their exploration, Emily felt a sense of hope. The journey had been long and arduous, but this encounter with the Vorten opened up new possibilities. Together, they would continue their mission, strengthened by the knowledge and support of their newfound allies. The encounter with the Vorten had reinvigorated the crew of the Horizon, providing them with new hope and advanced technologies to aid their journey. However, the psychological strain of space travel remained a constant challenge. The long dark had pushed them to their limits, and the new stresses of integrating Vorten technology and knowledge began to take their toll. One evening, as the crew gathered for a routine meeting, Emily noticed an underlying tension among her crewmates. Captain Drake started the meeting, his voice steady but carrying an edge of exhaustion. "We've made great strides with the Vorten's help, but we need to address the growing stress and anxiety among the crew." Raj nodded, his eyes tired. "I think the constant darkness and the pressure of our mission are getting to everyone. We need a break." Sarah, usually composed, spoke up with uncharacteristic frustration. "A break? Where? We're stuck in this tin can with no way out." The room fell silent, the weight of Sarah's words hanging in the air. Emily stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "We need to find ways to support each other. Isolation and confinement are taking their toll, and we can't let it tear us apart." Captain Drake agreed. "Let's implement more regular breaks, group activities, and one-on-one check-ins. We need to address these issues before they escalate further." Despite their best efforts, the psychological strain continued to mount. Small disagreements turned into heated arguments, and the crew's morale began to crumble. Emily worked tirelessly to mediate conflicts and provide support, but the cracks were showing. One night, as Emily was conducting a routine check-in with Sarah, she noticed the pilot's hands trembling. "Sarah, talk to me. What's going on?" Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I can't do this anymore, Emily. The darkness, the isolation, it's too much." Emily felt a pang of sympathy. "You're not alone, Sarah. We're all struggling. Let's find a way to cope together." But despite Emily's efforts, the tension reached a breaking point when a critical system malfunctioned, threatening the ship's stability. The crew's already frayed nerves snapped, and a heated argument erupted in the control room. "We can't keep going like this," Rod shouted, his frustration boiling over. "We need to find a solution, or we're going to tear each other apart." Captain Drake's voice was strained but firm. "Enough. We need to stay focused and work together. This mission is bigger than any of us." The room fell silent, the gravity of the situation sinking in. Emily knew that they had reached a critical juncture. They needed to find a way to heal and rebuild their trust, or their mission would be in jeopardy. "We're in this together," Emily said softly, her voice filled with determination. "Let's take a step back, address our issues, and find a way forward." The crew reluctantly agreed, and over the next few days, they focused on repairing their relationships and rebuilding their trust. They held open discussions about their fears and frustrations, finding strength in their shared vulnerability. Captain Drake introduced new team-building exercises, designed to foster cooperation and communication. The crew worked through their differences, slowly finding their way back to a sense of unity. As they navigated the long dark, the crew began to heal. They developed new strategies to cope with the psychological challenges of their journey, drawing strength from each other and their shared mission. One night, as they gathered in the common area for a rare moment of relaxation, Emily felt a renewed sense of hope. They had faced the darkness within and emerged stronger, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. "Together, we can overcome anything," Captain Drake said, raising his glass in a toast. The crew joined in, their voices filled with determination. "To the horizon, and to our future." The tension that had nearly torn the Horizon's crew apart began to dissipate as they focused on healing and rebuilding their relationships. The crisis had been a wake-up call, highlighting the importance of mental health and teamwork in their mission. Dr. Emily Hayes knew that fostering a supportive environment was crucial for their survival. The crew embraced new routines designed to promote mental well-being. Group activities, personal time, and open discussions became integral parts of their daily lives. Captain Drake introduced a weekly gathering where each crew member could share their thoughts and feelings without judgment. One evening, during one of these gatherings, Raj spoke up. "I've realized how much we need each other. This mission isn't just about reaching Elysium, it's about surviving together." Sarah nodded, her usual stoicism softened. "I've learned that it's okay to lean on others. We can't do this alone." Emily felt a sense of pride in her crewmates. They were growing stronger, learning to navigate the challenges of space travel with resilience and compassion. As the days passed, the crew's bond deepened. They shared stories from their pasts, revealing vulnerabilities and forging connections. These moments of connection became a source of strength, helping them cope with the isolation and confinement of their journey. One day, Emily decided to implement a new initiative, a buddy system, where each crew member would have a designated partner for emotional support. "Let's pair up and check in on each other regularly," she suggested. "We need to make sure no one feels alone." The crew agreed, and the buddy system became an integral part of their routine. It provided a sense of accountability and support, helping them navigate the psychological challenges of their mission. Emily was paired with Raj, and their regular check-ins became a source of comfort for both. They shared their fears and hopes, finding solace in their shared experiences. As they sat together in the common area one evening, Raj opened up about his family back on Earth. "I miss them every day. But knowing we're doing something important keeps me going." Emily nodded, her heart aching with empathy. "We're building a future for them, Raj. And for ourselves. We're stronger than we know. The crew's resilience was further tested when another system malfunction occurred. This time, it was the communication array, severing their link with Earth. The silence was deafening, amplifying their sense of isolation. Captain Drake addressed the crew with a calm determination. We know what to do. We've faced challenges before and come out stronger. Let's fix this together. The crew worked tirelessly to repair the communication array, their teamwork and determination shining through. Emily monitored their mental states, providing support and encouragement. Finally, after days of relentless effort, the communication array was restored. The crew cheered as their link with Earth was re-established, their spirits lifted by the achievement. We did it, Sarah said, a rare smile breaking through her usual stoicism. We worked together and we did it. Emily felt a surge of pride in her crewmates. They had faced adversity and emerged stronger, their bond unbreakable. As the Horizon continued its journey, the crew's resilience and determination grew. They had learned to lean on each other, finding strength in their shared mission and their unwavering support for one another. One evening, as they gathered in the observation deck, Captain Drake raised a toast. To the Horizon, and to us. We are more than a crew, we are a family. The crew raised their glasses, their voices united. To the Horizon, and to our future. The journey through the long dark and the challenges faced along the way had forged the Horizon's crew into a resilient, unified team. The days turned into weeks, and finally, the distant exoplanet Elysium came into view. The sight of their new home filled the crew with a mixture of awe and relief. We've made it, Captain Drake announced, his voice filled with pride. Prepare for descent. The atmosphere was electric as the crew readied the ship for landing. The sight of Elysium's lush, green landscapes and vast oceans was a stark contrast to the black void of space they had traversed. The planet promised a new beginning, but it also presented unknown challenges. Emily, run a final check on the crew's mental and physical readiness, Captain Drake instructed. Emily moved through the ship, conducting her assessments. The crew was in good spirits, their excitement palpable. They had endured so much, and the prospect of setting foot on solid ground again was invigorating. Landing sequence initiated, Sarah reported from her station. The Horizon shuddered as it entered Elysium's atmosphere, the friction creating a fiery glow outside the windows. The crew braced themselves, the ship's systems humming with effort. As the Horizon touched down on Elysium's surface, a cheer erupted from the crew. They had arrived. The doors opened, and the crew stepped out onto the alien soil, their senses overwhelmed by the fresh air and vibrant colors. We did it, Raj said, his voice filled with wonder. We're really here. Captain Drake gathered the crew. This is a historic moment. We are the first humans to set foot on Elysium. Let's make sure we honor this mission and each other as we build our new home. The crew spread out, beginning the work of establishing the colony. They set up temporary shelters, conducted initial surveys of the environment, and started to unpack the supplies and equipment they had brought with them. Emily monitored the crew closely, watching for signs of fatigue or stress. The excitement of their arrival was a powerful motivator, but the reality of their situation required careful management. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, casting the landscape in a warm, golden glow, the crew gathered for their first meal on Elysium. The sense of accomplishment and camaraderie was palpable. To Elysium, Captain Drake said, raising his glass. And to our future. The crew echoed his sentiment, their voices filled with hope and determination. They had faced the unknown and overcome immense challenges to reach this point. Together, they would build a new life on this distant world. As the days turned into weeks, the crew settled into their new routines. They built structures, cultivated the land, and explored the surrounding areas. Each day brought new discoveries and challenges, but the crew faced them with the same resilience and teamwork that had brought them this far. Emily continued her work, ensuring the mental and physical well-being of her crewmates. The psychological challenges of space travel had been immense, but the new environment of Elysium brought its own set of stresses and adjustments. One day, as Emily walked through the burgeoning colony, she reflected on their journey. They had come so far, and there was still so much to do. But she felt a deep sense of pride and hope. They had proven that humanity could reach beyond the stars and build a future in even the most distant corners of the universe. "We're not just surviving," Emily thought to herself. "We're thriving." The Horizons mission had always been about more than just reaching Elysium. It was about pushing the boundaries of what was possible and discovering the true potential of humanity. As they stood on the threshold of their new life, the crew knew that they were part of something extraordinary. Together, they would face the future with courage and determination, ready to build a new world and explore the endless possibilities of the universe. The Horizons crew had faced countless challenges and overcome immense obstacles to reach Elysium. As they settled into their new life, the initial excitement of arrival gave way to the practicalities of building a sustainable colony. The crew's resilience and determination continued to shine as they adapted to their new environment. Dr. Emily Hayes focused on ensuring the well-being of her crewmates, knowing that the psychological and emotional challenges of colonization were just beginning. She organized regular check-ins and group activities to maintain morale and foster a sense of community. One evening, as the crew gathered around a campfire, Captain Drake addressed them with a mixture of pride and hope. "We've achieved something extraordinary," he began. "But our journey is far from over. We've built the foundation of our new home, but there is still much to do." Raj spoke up, his voice filled with determination. "We've proven that we can overcome anything. Let's keep that spirit alive as we move forward." Sarah nodded, her usual stoicism softened by the warmth of the firelight. "We're more than just a crew. We're a family. And together, we can face whatever comes our way." Elena added, "We've come so far, and we have so much potential. Let's continue to support each other and build a future we can be proud of." Emily felt a surge of pride and hope as she looked around at her crewmates. They had faced the unknown and emerged stronger, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities of their new life on Elysium. The days turned into weeks, and the colony began to take shape. The crew worked tirelessly, building structures, cultivating the land, and exploring their surroundings. Each day brought new discoveries and challenges, but they faced them with resilience and determination. Emily continued her work, ensuring the mental and physical well-being of the crew. She knew that the psychological challenges of colonization were immense, but she also saw the strength and resilience of her crewmates. They were more than just surviving, they were thriving. One day, as Emily walked through the colony, she reflected on their journey. They had come so far, and there was still so much to do. But she felt a deep sense of pride and hope. They had proven that humanity could reach beyond the stars and build a future in even the most distant corners of the universe. "We're not just surviving," Emily thought to herself. "We're thriving." The Horizons mission had always been about more than just reaching Elysium. It was about pushing the boundaries of what was possible and discovering the true potential of humanity. As they stood on the threshold of their new life, the crew knew that they were part of something extraordinary. Together, they would face the future with courage and determination, ready to build a new world and explore the endless possibilities of the universe. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey aboard the Horizon. If you enjoyed exploring the depths of space with us, don't miss our next adventure. Click on the video appearing on your screen now to dive into another thrilling chapter of discovery and resilience. Your support helps us continue bringing these stories to life. Subscribe to Sci-Fi Story Vault for more epic tales from beyond the horizon. See you in the stars.